In terms of the trends that we look at when we look at investment flows, we're seeing a lot more activity moving into residential in particular, globally and in Europe. We're seeing a lot more investment coming into industrial, but we're also seeing retail coming back. We've done an analysis of major global investors who are diversifying globally from a range of domiciles, and it's interesting where their holdings were in 2010 relative to where they are in 2018. Essentially there's an amplification of the momentum we're seeing generally. So a lot of money going into residential, a lot into industrial, quite a lot into hotel, but a huge amount into development. So offices and retail still take up the lion's share, but the momentum is behind those other sectors. So when we look across Europe, we see a lot of opportunities. Different cities are emerging at different paces. New infrastructure is changing how cities work, and it's creating bigger centres for major locations like London, and that's all being driven by infrastructure, a lot of regeneration. So if we look at cities like Paris, that's going to be an interesting play over the next 10-15 years as the metro system evolves. Again, big occupiers have already started to move out to the inner suburbs, and it's kind of spreading the city around, and it's changing the amount of opportunities that will go into that city, or the investment opportunities around resi, retail, mixed use. I mean, I think the big thing is about getting mixed use right. Logistics is growing, there's demand for it, but within a city you can't just do logistics on its own, because the rental value will not drive gross development value to match any existing use value. You've got to blend it with other uses. And again, when we look at retail, it's all about omni-channel. It's about how logistics and retail can work together. But retail works really well with residential and offices because they drive the demand for the retail. It's just how you get it all right, get it together around public transport, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities across lots of different cities in Europe, even though we're going through a cyclical cooling in the market. Economic growth is tapering off globally and in Europe. You know, we've got Brexit looming over our heads. Decision didn't get passed yesterday, so that's going to go to the wall March 29th. We'll see how it plays out. Current consensus though is still for growth this year, but then with the UK coming back next year, and I think the UK market and a lot of UK markets who've seen yields move out already look like a really interesting play to a lot of investors once there's a bit more certainty.